What if there was a feature in the ECG app that allowed you to find vendors close to your location, and then it gives you a maps button. Once you click it, it moves you to Google Maps, and then you can be directed to that particular vendor, and then you can get your prepaid anytime you have issues buying in the app. Hey, what's up guys, it's Jason and welcome back to another video. Over the weekend, I had this challenge. I was trying to buy prepaid through the ECG app. If you're in Ghana, you're very familiar with the ECG app. And sometimes the app messes up, but there's no way to find vendors through the app. Because I had issues with the app, I was, trying to find a way where I could find a vendor without having to ask people. Because number one, where I live is pretty remote. There are a few vendors in the area, but I don't know exactly where they are. So that led me on a rabbit hole of design and trying to find a solution to this problem. So that is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I want to caveat this by saying that I love the current ECG app and the functionality. And I had a different take for how the homepage of the ECG app could look like. Mine is very radically different from what is currently in the App Store and the Play Store. And from my experience with design, when you have a lot of stakeholders, they do influence how the design looks at the end of the day. So in terms of what comes first and what comes next, you do a lot of back and forth with the stakeholders, and then especially the owner of the business. And then sometimes you may have to make certain compromises as a designer or as a developer, and it happens sometimes. But now in this scenario, this is me having a concept and I don't have people debating or doing a back and forth on how the design should look like. So if this is me designing the ECG app, this is how I would design it. So now let's move on to the solution I provided. When I designed the screen at first, I just had the top up button fill the side. But when I faced that challenge, the app wasn't working and I was frustrated and I wanted to find a vendor, but I couldn't find vendors around unless I have to ask people, where do I get a vendor? Where do I get a vendor? And it just got infuriating. So I thought there could be a nicer way to help a user find a vendor through the app. So when we click find vendor, it opens up your interface, your maps interface sort of, and it's trying to find your area, which is something I love. I love that it gives you a hint that, we're trying to find your location and then we can let you know which vendors are around, if there are any vendors at all. I designed this interaction as a loading interaction. I think it absolutely works. I love how it looks. I love the colors and I love the interaction. So it turns from like a pulsating thing to actually giving you like a location to a particular point, which gives you a hint of what is going to happen next. So you're going to see that, okay, it's going to search and it's going to give you, a step-by-step guide on how to get to that location. So say it finds a location, Spintex Community 18. The next thing that I love is that it tells you at the bottom in the action card that this is your location, Spintex Community 18, and 4 vendors found in this location. I'm going to go back and play that again. So it's finding your location, and then once you click it, it animates and it shows you that, good news, we have 4 vendors in your location. And so you can choose between any vendor, and you have the cards at the top. And now the cards at the top help you see the 4 vendors. So usually the vendors have names, right? So you have Rect ECG, Gen Global ECG Prepaid. You have Embra ECG, and then you have Lasting Impressions Limited. And one thing I like about the cards above is that it shows you the time they close. This card would have 2 types of variants if made a component. So one, if they are closed, it says closed here. It gives you the status and says closed. So closed, and then it says opens at, say, 6 a.m. And if it is opened, it tells you that it's open and closes at 10 p.m. So that's, one feature I love. Another thing I like about it, it gives you an ETA. So it says, okay, it's going to take you 5 minutes from your current location. It's going to give you an estimate of how long it's going to take you to get there. looking at it now, I didn't specify whether this is like a time frame based on you walking, taking a bike, or using a vehicle. So that is something to think about. But then say, for example, you want to go to rect because it seems like the closest. Once you click it, it animates and it shows you like, an outline of how to get there. So it shows you the line. So you move here, move here, move here, and you get there. But also the card animates and it shows you the location. Because now in Ghana, we started using digital addresses. So it gives you the digital address of the store or the vendor. And then it shows you the time it closes. So you're able to estimate how long it's going to take you to get there. And if you're going to get there after 10, I mean, it doesn't help for you to just waste time getting there and finding out that they've closed. And then the ATA. Now you have a CT at the bottom that says get direction. So when you click it, it gives you a step-by-step guide in either Apple Maps, Google Maps on how to get to the location. So this is basically the solution I came up with just because I thought it could be a very nice way to solve a problem for the user. So let me know what you think about the solution. And I hope you found this video helpful. For the Figma designers out there, if you'd want to have this in the community file, if you'd want to have this as a community file on Figma, let me know. I'd love to share it so that you can tweak it, play around with it and, have a look at how the animations were done. And I think it would be nice to make another video to talk about how these interactions were designed. It would be something I'd love to share. But then let me know if this is something you'd love to see down in the comments. I go by the name Jason. Thanks so much for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you in another video. Peace out.